Good morning, YouTube. Actually, it's afternoon now, barely. I just wanted to put up a very quick video about the coronavirus prediction equation. Just let you know how things have gone over the last few days. So I made a little table here, and this is the date, and this is how many cases I predicted using my equation, which has not changed. I mean, in days, it hasn't changed. And here's the actual number from the Johns Hopkins website, and here's how far off I am as a percentage. So, as you can see, the worst I've done over the last 3 days, and this goes back a while. I mean, you can look at my other videos. You can take the equation yourself and plug it in. It's doing pretty well. This is what it's been for the last 3 days, including today. I don't know what it's going to be tomorrow, obviously, but here's what I predicted. So you can have fun betting on that, I guess. My Germex is still here. I don't know why no one has come up to, I don't know why no one's taken my offer, because you're not going to get a better offer anytime within the next couple of months. By the way, I was telling people that if they wanted alcohol to clean their hands, they could use denatured alcohol from the hardware store. And I've looked that up. Apparently, it's not that great to have methanol on your hands for long periods of time. And the stuff that they use to denature alcohol, what denatured means is rendered unfit to drink. If denatured alcohol were not denatured, obviously college students would buy it all. So our government would not get its taxes, and there would be a problem. So they put things like methanol in it. Methanol is wood alcohol, small amounts supposedly, to make it undrinkable. And the theory is it's better to blind people and give them severe brain damage and kill them than it is to give them a break on the taxes. So I don't know if you really want to put denatured alcohol on your hands. Personally, I looked it up and I read about it on the internet, and I read what people who claim they know things said. And it looks from what they said that if you use it to wipe your hands off, you're probably not going to go blind, but maybe you will. So something to think about. Anyway, the equation's going really nice. Don't know why. It's a simplistic equation. It's crude, but look at these numbers. That's crazy. So that's about all I got to say about that. And if the weather improves, it's kind of drippy and rainy right now. If it improves a little bit, I may go out and shoot up the Hickok45 starter kit. Yesterday, I made 6 stands that you can put bottles on, or bowling pins or stuff like that. And with the creation of these stands, which it took like half an hour to make 6 of them. They're really easy to make if you can weld. With the creation of these stands, I would say the Hickok45 starter kit project is 95% complete. I don't have infinite room out there for stuff in front of my BERM, so there's a limit to what I can stick out there. I might get a couple of big gongs for rifles. I'm not sure yet. It has occurred to me that maybe I should have gotten bigger gongs, because I don't know if guests who come here to shoot will be able to use the ones I've got. I mean, I'm not the greatest shot on earth, but I'm shooting a 6-inch gong at 25 yards with a pistol. And most people, if you ever go to a gun range, you'll notice that most people have a really hard time hitting a piece of paper that's about 18 inches square from 21 feet. So I have concerns about bringing guests out here and letting them shoot. I mean, they might have to get so close to the gongs that they would have problems with the bullets, the fragments coming back and hitting them. And the other thing that I thought about was they're going to shoot up the stands. They're going to miss, and they're going to hit my beautiful welded painted stands that I made and ruin them, which is something that's probably never going to happen in my case. I'm not that clumsy. So anyhow, I might go out and shoot a little bit. So I hope this gives you hope. I want to apologize for something. I made a joke yesterday about people from up north. I was talking about how dirty people are going to get the infection first. And I made a joke about how Yankees are going to get it first. And I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't pick on people based on where they come from. That's not right. Although, if you're a Southerner, I'll tell you what, man, I can't tell you how many times somebody from up north who is much less intelligent than I am has condescended to me about something they were completely wrong about. Nonetheless, I'm supposed to live in a world of forgiveness and love. And I'm sorry I picked on people. But I will say I can't exactly take back the facts of what I said. I was talking about how gross people from up north can be compared to typical Southerners. And I don't mean like really serious, heavy-duty, laboring type Southerners. I mean you're nice families, people who go to work every day, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm from Kentucky, but I grew up mostly in the Miami area. And at that time, Miami was really a northern city. Everybody there was from New York or New Jersey or Boston. And there were so few kids, it's like 70% Cuban now, and a lot of the other people are from the islands in Mexico. But when I was there, when I was a kid, there were so few people there of that nature that you would actually know who the Cuban kid in your elementary school was. And try that now. That's not going to happen. I mean, I knew who the Cuban kid was. I knew who the black kid was. One or two Cubans. A guy named Fernando. A guy named Franco. A lot of wealthy people came over from Cubans because Castro, out of envy and in order to please his envious masses who hated anyone successful, he really tormented the wealthy, and a lot of them fled to Miami. So anyhow, what am I trying to say? I grew up around an awful lot of people who were from the North, and then I went to college. I went to Columbia University for 3 years, so obviously I met a few people there that were from the North. And I really, there is a difference. I mean, it really is true. I won't say Yankees. That's mean. I'll say Northerners, Northeasterners do some stuff that makes Southerners cringe. They're always saying, "Give me a sip, give me a bite," spitting. It's just gross. It's just gross. If you're a typical Southerner, everybody at the table has his own plate. Everybody has his own fork. Everybody has his own beverage. I can't tell you how many times when I was a kid I made people furious because they'd say, "Give me a sip of your Coke. Give me a bite of your candy bar." And I'd say, "No way. That's disgusting. That's not safe." So I really think, based on my vast experience around people from the Northeast, yes, they are less clean and more likely to spread disease than people from the South, and probably less clean than black people, because black people wash really carefully. Most white people don't know this, but they do, because they have problems with dead skin showing up if they don't wash it off and keep their skin moist and whatever. So black people always use washcloths. They wash their entire body with a washcloth. And there's a lot of white people that just kind of stand in the shower and put soap on themselves, which doesn't really accomplish much. So sorry I was snarky about it, but on the other hand, I can't really take back what I said about people from up north being dirtier. That's just a fact. So hope you won't be angry at me. I mean, you won the Civil War. You got that to feel good about. So that's a big thing. I don't know. That's about it. Be mad at me if you want. I'm used to it. Hope you have a good day. Try not to be scared. Well, YouTube, it's your lucky day. I think I've pretty much completed the Hickok45 starter kit. I may make some additions later on, but I think I've pretty well, I'm trying to talk close to the microphone because I'm outdoors. I've pretty well gotten where I want to be. And the big addition I've made is, can you see my hand? Where's my hand? There it is. These things up here, these are bottle stands. I should put a bottle on one, shouldn't I? I've got some. Okay, that's much better, isn't it? So anyway, I thought it'd be nice to have something to shoot bottles off, bowling pins or whatever. And all these things is it's 3/8 inch rebar, and I got 3-inch squares of 1/8 inch steel, and I just welded them to the ends, and then I sprayed the whole thing with truck bed coating, which ought to last forever. So I'm going to try to get my pistol, my SW22 Victory Smith & Wesson pistol, and my Marlin 60 with the new peep sight on it. I'm going to try to get them sort of sighted in. Hopefully I can get this done before it really starts to rain, and then maybe I'll be able to pop some of these bottles. A lot of people use soda when they shoot these things, or pop, or whatever you want to call it. What I did was I drink purified water all the time because I don't want to get a lot of calcium. So my understanding is it has less calcium in it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wasting my money. So what I did was I took food color and filled my empty bottles, because it seemed like it made more sense than wasting a lot of money on soda. But maybe I'm wrong. Soda blows up nicer. So we'll see what happens. Well, I've got them about as close as I can without resting the weapons on something. I don't know what to do about this field, this pasture out here. It rained last night, and it's like the cattle just exploded. There's poo everywhere. Unbelievable. I also had to herd them away from the berm because they were standing right behind it. So that was fun. But I'll get to shooting shortly. Well, I am really happy. I still don't quite have the Smith & Wesson figured out, but I think I have a fairly good idea where the Marlin is shooting. It looks like I have to shoot slightly to the right, so I still got to mess around with that. Anyway, these stands are just phenomenal, and it took me half an hour to build 6 of these things and a few minutes to paint them. So I don't know, I think this is just absolutely fantastic. I don't know what else I'll put out here. Maybe 1 or 2 big gongs for rifles, and maybe that's it. So I highly encourage everybody on earth, take up welding, take up shooting, make your own stuff. Don't rely on other people, because you know they are. So hope you're having a great weekend.